So recently I've been pondering how little time I've been having at hand lately. It's not that the workload is big, but despite my free time, I haven't been getting much done. I look back at what I've been doing and I see that I'm spending way too much time on social media. Even if I block the social media from wasting my time, I end up not doing my work. Not that I don't want to, I don't know what it is. Perhaps I don't feel a sense of urgency. Well, I've had enough of tossing my time into the void. I should be counting every second, making sure that I spend it very well. So that's why I've had a sudden inspiration to implement a modified form of the pomodoro technique. Here's how it goes. The condition is that I need to install an artificial sense of urgency in any task that I partake. In order to do this, I need to make myself conscious of how very little time I have. So again, in order to do this, I first find a good timer. I prefer physical ones. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But with only a computer with the internet available, the Google timer that pops up when you search timer in the Google search engine works charmingly well. I also have to take into account my attention span. How long is it until I start to feel weary or slightly apathetic on what I am doing? For me, it's around 5 minutes. So I set the timer to 5 minutes and do as much as possible. The small time frame I give myself is the key to productivity. The key is to give yourself very little time to get the task done. That way, you will put in as much effort as possible. After the timer is up, I reset the timer back to 5 minutes, and either I decide to continue to do my task as long as I promise myself not to get distracted, and I give it my all. Otherwise, I just start another task from my workload for 5 minutes. Now you must be thinking that the time it takes to get comfortable when switching to a new task is inefficient. Isn't it more efficient to study or work for an hour rather than, say, 5 minutes? Actually, to prove my point, let me rephrase this. Wouldn't you rather work or study for 5 minutes rather than an hour? It's all about the psychology. Many of us imagine the task of an hour being unbearably hard, so we procrastinate. But if you allow yourself to think that you only require 5 minutes to do the same task, the task becomes so much more agreeable. And the cool thing that I found is that after 5 minutes of doing the task, I feel unsatisfied if I don't do more. Perhaps it's a bit of a completionist complex. So again, the key to productivity is to install a sense of urgency, because when something is urgently required in our mind to be done, we don't have room to feel boredom. Thanks for listening.